it's come time to cut the sides, or cut the slots in the side of our heel on our neck. The slots need to cut down here, down to our little lines that we've marked here, 11mm down on this side and 5mm off the centre on that side. And once we've cut them, we then need to widen them enough so that our sides will slide down into those. Okay. So first thing we do, stick it in the vise, leave it sitting up high enough so that you're not going to be cutting into the table, and then you grab a tenon saw. You'll notice that over in the selection of saws over there, they all look the same, but there's two saws over there that have orange on them. Don't use those saws for making your first cuts. The orange ones are used to widen your slots because they run up against the side of this piece of steel, and basically one side of all of the teeth on there are no good now. So it's perfect for what we want to do with it, but no good for making a nice clean cut. We are wanting to cut on the heel side of our line down the side. So you're always cutting towards the back of that, right up against the line, but on the heel side of that line. So we're going to raise the back of the saw just a little bit, use our finger as a guide, and just very lightly get it started. And we're going to keep cutting down there. Always stop, check, blow off the sawdust, go a little bit more. We don't want to cut our line off, and we need to make sure that we're running nice and straight down either side. So as I was cutting that, the line gradually came back across here. My cut mark gradually came back. Don't try and cut the full width in, straight up. Always have your back of your saw up just a little bit and cut it that way. Right, so we're going all right down that side there. Yeah. And we've got to stop right on the mark that was 5mm out. That's right there. I'm not quite down on this side. That's about right. One thing that we can do to check that the bottom of our slot doesn't have a dome in the bottom of it is to, we used to have one, which we don't anymore obviously. Alright, just grab this little scraper, sit it down in your slot, and with a little bit of pressure on it, you should find that this side touches your 11mm line and this side touches your 5mm line. If you've got a raised bit in the bottom, you'll have to push this side down to get that one and then rock it over to get the other one. It should be able to touch both those lines at the same time. That means you've got the bottom of your slot nice and flat. Right, we flip it over and we do the other side. Remember, once again, we're cutting on the heel side of the line. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but I've left both of my lines there. You can still see my lines. I'm right up against them. You can still see my lines down the side and across the top. So I'm going to sit that in there just to make sure that, yep, I'm down to my line there, down to my line there. Spot on. All right, now what we're going to do is widen that slot. You can see here, this is my side. There's no way that's going to fit down in there. So take it here and put the non-coloured saw away. Don't even leave it on your bench, just in case you pick it up by accident. We really don't want to do that. It destroys all the teeth. Pick up your saw with the orange on it, and there's a couple of these funky little metal spaces here. I use the wider, actually, no, I'm going to have to run the thinner one. No, that'll go. I'll run the wider one down there first. If you can't get it to fit down, your saw the kerf on your saw might be a little bit narrower. But basically what we do now, that's jammed down in that slot, right to the bottom. We're now going to cut on this side of it, which is going to widen the slot that we've just made. The best trick to cut this is to keep your saw nice and straight. Don't have it trying to go down on an angle, it'll wedge in there. And don't try and push too hard down on the saw, just let it cut its own way down. Nearly there. Once again, make sure that your saw can touch the bottom of both of those slots at the same time. Take that out. Got a slightly wider thing there. Now that is still not wide enough. I don't want to go too much wider on here. So what we do is we grab a piece of paper. Does anyone know how thick a piece of paper is? About 0.1 of a mil. So I'm going to cut out probably another, I'll try three more layers of paper. So we just fold that over. So this is going to bring it out another 0.3 of a millimetre. So now I put that down in the slot. Then I put this metal spacer in there. So that's now effectively pushing that spacer over by another 0.3 of a mil. Take our saw again, keeping the saw nice and vertical, and run that down. Come out. Try it again. That is, you know what, I'm going to leave that fits in there for me. It's probably a little bit too tight, but I am going to sand this just a little bit before I put that in. Maybe, no, I'm going to go one more. Change my mind. We'll go one more. So we'll fold that over one more time. It's only going to try and take 0.1 off there, which should be interesting. Once you've got it set, because both of your pieces were thicknessed at the same time, you'll be able to, if it's 4 pieces of paper, you can just drop the 4 bits of paper in on the other side and it's done. It's just the first one. It'll take a bit of time. Very tight. Let's go a little bit more. I'll give it another 2. If you make it too tight, when you try to put the glue in there, you'll find that it won't go in very well. It's very hard to get in, and once you've got the glue in, it makes life quite difficult trying to get it all sorted. So down. If you do happen to cut a little bit further down on here, it doesn't matter. Just try not to cut the whole thing right off. Right, that's it. That's lovely. That's a great fit on that side. Flip that over. This one should be a lot quicker because we've got our thickness set. That's how much paper we're going to need. Get that down, right down in there. Paper in. I may not be able to fit that in as well, we'll have to see. Oh no, she'll go. Sweet. It's really important to make sure you cut right down to the bottom of your slot. Otherwise your sides will only go part way in. And there's my other sides. So that's set perfectly for the thickness of my sides. That's how many I needed. Your second one goes nice and quick. Thank you.